Welcome to NQ Radio. Hope you all have had a lovely Sunday, and I hope you enjoyed that intro song. I kind of love the Earth song, and I figured it'd be a good song to lead off with. But as we are talking about League and all the other League related things, keep a reminder that this Friday and Saturday there will be LCS. Friday will be European LCS. Saturday will be North American LCS. And you'll be able to see how the pros kind of adjust to this Season 6, because it's kind of going to be a wonky meta. But I wanted to go ahead and talk about tier list for this first segment, and then I'm going to go ahead and talk about the champion trailer in the next segment. So I want to go through the tier list from the top lane down to the ADC. So here we go. For right now, for the current tier list, it looks like on S, we have Alawi and Jax. And then A is Garen, Malphite, Mundo, Trundle, Shen, Tahm Kench, and Ryze. Those are going to be really the only ones you want to consider doing possibly for solo queue are the S and A region, because they're powerful enough that you could go ahead and do basically whatever you want with them and hopefully climb that ladder before the actual ranked season starts. Alright, so for the jungle, Mundo is an S, which is no big surprise. We definitely know Mundo's pick or ban right now. Definitely. Rengar is also S, and then those are the only two in S tier for jungle as well. For A tier, we're going to have Jax, Trundle, Tahm Kench, Rammus, Amumu, Rek'Sai, Kindred, and Nidalee. I'm a little interested by Nidalee because I feel like she's really not that strong, but I guess they think that she is quite strong. And I'm going by ranked boost, by the way. So, they might have different opinions than you would have. Let's go ahead and talk about mid lane. The strongest picks are Brand, Zed, and Ahri in the S tier. For the A tier, it's going to be Lux, Talon, Anivia, Twisted Fate, Fizz, Annie, Zillion, LeBlanc, and Gangplank. Gangplank kind of being the sort of out of place guy. Well, I guess Zillion as well, because Zillion's more of a utility support, and Gameplank's a utility mid laner. And Gameplank's kind of farm mid lane and wait and get ready to fight later on. Let's talk about ADCs. S, Misfortune, still standing in the S tier. And Lucian S tier, not a big surprise there. And then Vayne, Graves, and Quinn for the A tier. ADCs have a little bit less diversity because there's always usually a better pick for them. And then finally support. Surprisingly, Sona is going to be an S tier, which has not happened in a long time. And then Trundle is in S tier as well. For A tier, we have Bran, Janna, Nami, and Blitzcrank. Surprisingly, Soraka's actually only in B tier. I guess since, if you get enough burst, you can destroy a Soraka comp. Usually Soraka comps go well against teams that don't necessarily have a huge amount of burst. But that's going to be the tier list. After this song, we're going to be coming back, and we're going to be talking about the champion trailer, teaser, and my thoughts about it, and my kind of hopes for the champion. But this is NQ Radio. Enjoy the song. Welcome back. I hope you all enjoyed that song. So let's go ahead and talk about the champion teaser that was released a few days ago concerning Deadeye, Jin, whatever the community has decided to name him. Anyway, I'm kind of excited. It's interesting how he's like going around and kind of sneaking in the shadows and shooting people, killing them. But he's trying to perfect them, I guess, is the thought process that's kind of came from this champion teaser, is that he sees the people that he's shooting as imperfect and he wants to make them perfect. But he doesn't realize he's killing them, or maybe he does realize he's killing them. Kind of like a psycho serial killer mindset right there, which is kind of enticing, kind of fascinating. And I would love it if League of Legends would get a little bit more darker characters, because let's admit it. Normally, it's been like Demacia versus Noxus. That's like the darkest that it's ever gotten. And Swain and Singed and all their different ways that they got kind of down and dirty when it came to fighting. But honestly, my hope for Deadeye, Jin, whatever he ends up being named when the actual official champion announcement is released, I hope he's the first ranged AD assassin. I think it would be fascinating to actually have a ranged AD assassin. You can all say, hey, well, Kindred's a ranged AD assassin. Yeah, I guess I can see your point there, but I want an official ranged AD assassin, because Kindred was marketed as a marksman jungler. So it'd be very interesting to have a ranged AD assassin. I know Riot wanted to do it way back in the day, but at the time they didn't know how to balance out ADC and assassins. So they figured that a ranged AD assassin would be too strong in bot lane and provide very little counterplay for the opponents. But let me know what you think in the comments, and when we come back, I'm going to be talking about some kind of sleeper picks I like to use in different roles. And yeah, we'll see you after this song.
After all that we've been
Alright, welcome back. Hope you all enjoyed that song. So, for this segment, I want to talk a little bit about sleeper picks that I like to do when I go in different various lanes. And ADC and support are honestly going to be like the hardest kind of sleeper picks because there's a lot of diversity in those lanes right now. But to start off, top lane, I like playing Galio in the top just because he counters mages really well. He can build tanky and still do a decent amount of damage because he has high base damages, plus he has his passive, which gives him 50% of his magic resist, which is really good. And I believe right now, because of that, he also has the highest starting AP in the game, just because of how masteries got changed and all that sort of thing that's going on. For jungle, I like to play Shyvana. She's not really a sleeper pick, but she is low on the tier list. But I still feel like if you can swing a devoured jungler, Shyvana's really good because she can get really tanky and still do a lot of damage as well. Even with maybe, say, only a devour, she'll still do a lot of damage if you go devour into straight tank. For mid lane, I still love Kayle. Kayle's also not really necessarily a sleeper pick, but she's really low on the tier list. Which, by the way, I'll have the tier list in the description for you guys to go ahead and check out. So you can maybe agree or disagree. But I feel like Kayle's still in a strong point. She still does what she does well, which is burst someone down and provide a ulti that's always going to be useful in a team fight, trying to save one of the carries using that ulti, whether it be saving herself or saving the ADC. Or maybe saving the top lane threat if the top lane threat needs a little bit of saving as well. For support, again, lower on the tier list, I still like Nautilus very well. Nautilus just brings a lot of CC to the bot lane and a lot of late game tankiness and utility as well. So I still love playing Nautilus as support in solo queue. And then finally for ADC, I like playing Twitch now that I've kind of figured out his champion kit and how he works, where you kind of have to be like semi-assassin playstyle, sneak around, and then get that like 3-shot on someone. But I do like playing Twitch as ADC. He's definitely really weak in the meta right now, but if you can get a good Twitch comp pulled off, he's really strong. He's really pretty potent, especially when he has his ultimate. But that's basically it for this segment. When we come back, I'll do some closing remarks, as well as leave you guys with a question. So, see you after the song. All right, welcome back. Thanks for tuning in today on your lovely Sunday. Hope you all have enjoyed it. And tune in for Daniel's show on Wednesday. He will have that ready, and it will be up. Don't really know what he's talking about, but both of us are trying to get this radio station kicking. And if you have any of your own music, make sure you send it to NQ Radio. But the question I wanted to leave off with you guys today is, what champion do you like to solo queue with? Leave that comment in the description. I'd love to hear some of the champions that you love to solo queue with. But from all of us here at NQ Radio, have a pleasant day.